Okay, so here we have American cherry. And American cherry is a really special wood because it has a long storied history in the States, but particularly because it's used a lot in cabinetry over there and furniture and stuff. And the reason for that was because it was so plentiful. And I'll tell you a little story about American cherry in a minute and just kind of why it was so plentiful. But let's get into it. So we have our Dakota Irish box, protects the tray during shipment and also is a really great storage solution. After you get the tray, a lot of customers use them to carry them around or just to stack them and store them. So you get the great packaging and a great storage solution. I just like the tagline. I think I'm going to use that from now on. So, I forgot to say, for this one then, American cherry, and we're looking at, come on, focus, brown leather. So, brown leather looks probably the best in cherry, although you can go for a white leather or a green felt or green leather if you wanted to as well, depending on what your tastes are. So you get a little bit of information about American cherry, and it talks a little bit about, about that. I won't spoil it on you. You also get my commitments on the craftsmanship and the quality of the tray. You get the care instructions for how to look after the tray once you get it, depending on if you get leather or felt as well. And now here we go. Here's our lovely tissue paper, which keeps it protected from blemishes while it's inside there, and also, looks pretty good. And here we go, American cherry. So right away you can see American cherry has a kind of a pinkish hue to it, as well as with the brown leather. I think the brown leather really sets off the pinkish hue really nicely, and it just, yeah, it makes for a really lovely coloring to it. And the reason for the pinkishness, by the way, is also because cherry, and actually one of the reasons why it's in the box and protected is because cherry changes color over time. Now it's slower than other woods to do that. Purple Heart does it quite quickly, so does Padauk, but cherry takes a little while for it to change color, but it will go to a lovely pink or like a rich pink or a kind of a rich I don't know what color, beigeish color if you want to call it that. So you see this lovely straight grain. That's a feature of American cherry as well. It's a really beautiful wood. And here you can see this lovely figurine as well because it's a crosscut piece. Yeah. So, cherry, the story I was going to tell you about. So the reason why cherry is so plentiful and used in furniture and cabinetry is because during the Civil War, a lot of Americans died, right? Millions of Americans died. And it meant that there were less and less need to cut down trees, and a lot of these cherry trees were left to grow, and they grow everywhere, and they're still growing everywhere, and they were just a really lovely, plentiful source of material to be used, after the Civil War in terms of rebuilding, and yeah, so it's used quite frequently in American cabinetry. So, but it does that because it is a beautiful wood, and as I said, as it ages over time, it gets a beautiful patina to it. And it makes for a really beautiful piece. So it's kind of a bit of American history, as well as, just some real nice, understated beauty, I suppose is what I like to think about for the American cherry. You also have the lovely rubber feet that protect it, the thick Italian leather. It, protects your dice and gives a really beautiful feel and smell to it. And also the 3 layers of shellac on the piece that helps protect it and keep it safe and allows you to roll metal dice in it. So, yeah, definitely one of the less kind of understated pieces and maybe not quite as appreciated trays is American cherry. So, definitely one of the ones to feature.